What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is a decade of hop decadence. So this is a Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe and Galaxy hopped double IPA that comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is approximately 3.5 weeks old. So it's been a while since I've reviewed something from Hop Butcher on the channel. They last sent me a box of beer, I want to say it was early fall of last year, and I think the last review I posted was like mid to late November, so we're going on about 5 months since I reviewed something from them, and this showed up locally, and they brewed this for basically their 10-year anniversary. I don't know if it was officially an anniversary, but they have been brewing beer for 10 years, which is crazy to me. They first started sending me beer, I think it was back in, was it 2020-ish, like early 2020, which was kind of wild. And shout out to Jeremiah and the whole crew over at Hop Butcher for a decade of decadence, because they've been kicking out some great beers over the years. And I picked this one up. Shout out to Kenny over at Brewed and Bottled in Lewiston, New York, my favorite local bottle shop. I was hanging out there recently and he showed me this one. It came in and I was like, I gotta grab it. I gotta grab it. It's been a while. So anyway, I love the hop bill. Basically a lot of like, not super old school hops, but old school hops to some degree, Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Galaxy, and I'm here for it. So let's crack it open and get in the hashtag proper glassware and see what we got going on. When it comes to the hazies, a lot of folks ask me like, do I roll the can, whatever. I keep all my hazies upside down my fridge. I turn them right side up about 15 minutes before I review them, 20. And then when I bring them out, right before I turn the camera, I do usually roll them. Like I rolled this one. So if there's any gunk at the end, or it's all separated or whatever, it's not on me. Let's just say that. So we're gonna pour it into the Hop Butcher glass here. It's looking like Hop Butcher juice. Oh, the head's getting a little crazy here. I'm not even pouring it that hard, so that's unfortunate. All right, we'll do something like that, because the head does definitely seem outrageous as we speak. So how does that look in the hashtag proper glassware? Well, it looks like I poured it like an idiot, but guess what? I didn't pour it like an idiot. It's just highly carbonated, so it is what it is. But it had on camera, it looks a little bit darker than in person. In person, it has like this nice honey orange color. It's murky, it's turbid, you can't see through it. On camera, it's slightly darker. It almost looks oxidized, but in person, it definitely is not. So that's one. That's one cool thing about having this new camera, being able to have my tablet off camera and looking at it. I can tell that this is definitely not oxidized in person, but on camera, a little bit darker. Has about a 3 finger of this luscious looking head. Looks soap sudsy, yeah, creamy, the whole nine, but yeah, murky, turbid, honey, like a deep honey orange color, I would say. Anyway, let's get a nose. It might be tough to get a nose through this. Let me swirl it up a little bit here. Ooh, there we go. It's sweet, luscious fruit. Like there is so much shit going on here. So I haven't said this in a while. It has that, and I remember this with Hop Butcher more than any brewery, but it has a sweet, like the creamy fruits you would get, like that has like a honeydew melon, a cantaloupe, a papaya, those kind of creamy textured kind of fruits. That's kind of what I'm getting in the nose, like a creamy, sweeter fruit. So yeah, honeydew melon, I'd say more papaya than like a cantaloupe or something. Definitely honeydew if we're talking melon, more so than cantaloupe. Pineapple, passion fruit, peach, maybe a little bit of like an orange or like a tangelo, so like the tangerine grapefruit hybrid. There are tasting notes on the back that I'm just thinking of right now. I actually didn't even glance at them when I picked this beer up, so that's good. I usually don't nail, because it's usually like, I usually go like 1 for 3 or maybe like 1.5 for 3, so I'm curious, but in the nose here, it just smells like sweet, sticky, luscious, sweeter fruits. So honeydew melon, pineapple, papaya, tangelo, things of that nature, juicy as well. A little bit of that like vanilla kind of thing you could maybe get from maybe the yeast in this one, maybe certain, maybe the yeast with the water profile, maybe the hops, almost slight creamsicle vibes. And then there's this nice like herbaceous kind of dankness, very subtle. Smells awesome. It smells like Hop Butcher. Hop saturation through the roof. Big, intense aromatics. It smells awesome. Let's get into it, and congratulations for a decade of decadence. Hop Butcher, Jeremiah. Cheers. I miss bodies and mouthfeels from Hop Butcher. I know that sounds stupid, but I really do. They've like, the vast majority of the beers I've had from them, their bodies and mouthfeels are just, just perfect. Like they're kind of what I want if I'm drinking a hazy double IPA, which this is exactly what this is, New England hazy, whatever. I forgot this is 8.5%. Like, there is no astringent in the chest, nothing on the palate. This is fucking delicious. So, body, higher side of medium, lower side of full. I'd say more lower side of full, maybe even approaching medium full. Like, there's a heft here, but it's not over the top. So I think it's, for 8.5%, fantastic. The mouthfeel, it has a mild to moderate carbonation smack dab in the middle, so it's softer than most, smooth, incredibly creamy, one of the more creamy hop forward beers I've had in a minute. The taste is, I said in the nose I'm getting all that different fruit. The taste is a fruit bowl of awesomeness. That's what this is. It's peach, it's tangelo, so juicier, sweeter, like citrus and stone fruits. Then after that, I'm getting the honeydew melon I was talking about, like a honeydew melon, like kind of like closer to the rind, like a sweet over-ripened papaya, a big blast of like Dole pineapple, like a Dole pineapple juice even. Like it's more of like maybe the crushed pineapple, but you could say pineapple juice. Like it has a lot of citrus, stone, and tropical fruit galore. There is really no like malt character to speak of here. The finish has a very slight herbaceous dankness, but it's very slight. This is actually quite dry. It's not firmly or bone dry, but it's quite dry, like semi to full on dry, like in the middle of that, more approaching full dry. Very mild bitterness here. The one thing that I would say that, like, for me with Hop Butcher and with where my palate is now, if you guys have been following the channel in the last 6 months to a year, you know that I've been craving West Coast IPA, so I want bitterness, I want dryness. Well, that's not Hop Butcher's game. Hop Butcher's game is the, super saturated, crazy hazies. A lot of them can be dry and or bitter, but a lot of the Hop Butcher beers I've had over the years have been sweeter double IPAs. They're 7.5% double IPAs. This is one of those. However, it's not cloying. It's not too much for me. Definitely a one and done beer for me, but it is 8.5%, so it'd be like that anyway. But this is one of the sweeter hazy double IPAs that I could tolerate right now. Any more sweetness or any less dryness here, and it's a little bit too unbalanced for me. So I think they do a good enough balance here. The balance is good enough here for me to enjoy this can, but definitely not a beer that I could session myself, but I know some of you could. Look at the glass lacing. Absolutely phenomenal glass lacing in the Hop Butcher glass. This is fantastic. This is, like I said, I don't know if this is actually like their 10th anniversary beer or like an actual 10th anniversary. I follow, I follow them on Untapped, and maybe on Untapped on Instagram, so maybe I missed it, but they're coming through with another heater, so to speak. All right, one more sip because I'm between two scores. The pros of this one: hop saturation through the roof, a lot of sweet, sticky fruit of all kind. Body mouthfeel are fantastic. Negative: I would want a little bit more of that like dank herbaceousness on the finish to be more vibrant and noticeable, and also a little bit more bitterness. However, I can't sit here and say this isn't a delicious beer because it is. So I'm going to give a decade of Hop Decadence from Hop Butcher a low 4.5 and go 4.4. This is fan-fucking-tastic. Killer artwork from Dan. I'm pretty sure it's still Dan Jetsa, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure he still does them all. Their artwork is second to none. But this is fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Can't even say it. But yeah, this is awesome stuff. All right, price point availability. I paid $5 or $5.50 for that can. Usually when Hop Butcher stuff shows up here in the Buffalo, New York area, anywhere from like $20 to $22 a 4-pack, and singles are usually $5 to $6. I mean, that's fine by me. I know in Chicago they're a little bit cheaper, so your mileage may vary. And then as far as like the availability, I have no idea anymore with Hop Butcher. You can find them all over the place, or you can find them nowhere. They do get on like Halftime Beverage. They're on Tavor if you want to use the online thing. But if you're in a relatively decent sized city, you should see them at some point, especially if you're in like the Midwest, Northeast, maybe even in the South. Maybe not out West as much, but their distro has gotten a lot better over the years, and it's just wild to see them come so far, back to when they even first started sending me beers to where they are now. It's awesome to see the success that they have had over the past 5 years, and definitely over the past 10. So once again, huge congratulations to Jeremiah and the gang over there for celebrating 10 years of hop decadence. That's pretty damn cool, honestly. And they did so with a fantastic beer that I grabbed locally, which I never thought that'd be the case when they first started sending beers my way. So super fucking cool, awesome beer. Like I said, you know, not like the perfectly balanced beer, but at the same time, really good. 8.5%, I can't even fucking tell. I'm starting to feel it like a little bit, but like nothing is chest on it. This is a 4.4 out of 5 all day long. Fantastic Hop Butcher Haze. I almost forgot to read the tasting notes. This is what makes me feel good about my palate when I read these tasting notes and you kind of nail it. Sweet papaya. Yeah, sweet, creamy, over-ripened papaya. Lush pineapple. I said pineapple. To be fair, I said like a dozen different fruits. Fresh tangerine. I would say fresh tangelo. Either way, I think I'm like 2 for 3. Sweet papaya and lush pineapple, yeah. Fresh tangerine, nah, more tangelo. But whatever. I think I came close enough with this inferior palate. Anyway, thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And hopefully I'll be reviewing some more Hop Butcher stuff if their stuff shows up and I want to grab some more. It's been, you know, like I said, about 6 months since they sent me a box. And if they never send me a box again, I'm more than okay. They have supported my channel incredibly well over the years, and I probably owe it to them to pick up more of their stuff and review it on my own time. So anyway, to the next one. Cheers.